안녕하세요.
I'm Demarchlier.
I'm Arielle.
And we're
Soju for Two.
Okay, so the next review we're going to do is The Woman Who Still Wants to Marry, or Women Who Still Want to Marry. I'm not sure exactly how it translates. It sounds a little confusing. And this one came out in 2010.
Okay, and this one, like a side note, is that it might be a remake of like a 2001 show that's by the same name, and also like a male version, like The Man Who Still Wants to Marry. So we haven't seen those yet, but I did notice that they sort of exist, so maybe someone else might want to tell if you've seen them and you like them. Okay, so the main characters here. So we have Park Jin-hee plays Lee Shin-young, Yeom Jin-won plays Young Da-young, Wang Bit-na plays Kim Bu-ki, Kim Bum plays Ha Min-jae, Cho Chun-ho plays Na Ban-suk.
Okay, so a lot of names here, obviously. Yeah. Okay, so this is one where with the characters, right when we were watching this to begin with, we thought this reminded us of Sex and the City. Now, not because of the the talking about things like they do in Sex and the City, but more because there's women who come together sort of like at the table, and talk about what's going on in their lives. It's more like Korean Piggyback in the City or something, because it's Korea. But we thought the characters were really great in this. Obviously, we came to this because of
Kim Bum.
We saw him in Boys Over Flowers, and he did not disappoint as a character in the story. He plays a musician, he plays intelligent, quirky, smart, and the main lead for this is a girl who, she's supposed to be like a journalist in her mid-early 30s.
Yeah, like 34, I guess. Maybe 32 though in like America, the year difference.
And so and then all the other girls are either successful at something or they're sort of transitioning, so it has that sort of their women, adult, vibe to it.
Yeah, so even though people always say that the Sex and the City thing, like clearly this one is not nearly as much Sex and the City, or is like I Need Romance, some of the drama that just came out. That was definitely more Sex and the City than this one. But it's definitely something we like. So, chemistry.
Okay, I saw that right away, and I really enjoyed the fact that even though she tries to fight it a little bit, the main character, she right away sort of, maybe she doesn't admit to being attracted to him, but she right away sees his appeal, and in a smart choice, continues to like him. This is like we talked about Protect the Boss and like not understanding how like Jae-jung from JYJ couldn't be like the one you end up with. At least she makes the right choice, and this gives it more points for me as a Korean drama. So
because he's not just eye candy in this one. I mean, he really is a great actor.
Yeah, but you get to see that more here than definitely Boys Over Flowers. Yeah. Boys Over Flowers, he's more just another cast member who sort of laughs along to whatever's happening.
Yeah, and pulls out like a flower and does some like smooth move. But like in this one,
he looks cheesy in this one.
Definitely. And he's also in Padam, which came out right now. But we haven't started watching that yet because he lost a lot of weight, so we aren't quite as ready to watch it yet.
I'm kind of worried about it. I don't want to watch it and be like disappointed.
So if someone's seen it and they really like it, then please let us know. But we haven't watched it yet, and we're a little afraid to. Okay, so we're gonna move on to Love Triangle.
Now this one, he's supposed to be someone who's never had a girlfriend or any other relationships.
How is it possible?
And he's supposed to be a little bit older than a college. Even though he's in college and a college student, he's supposed to have already been in the army. So he's a little bit older as a college student. And we're supposed to believe he didn't have anybody. So okay, that's kind of hard to believe. But and she has sort of a backstory or a history where she dated a guy, went overseas and came back, and he acted like he didn't like her. And then he likes her. Surprise, surprise.
And then
twist.
Hooks up with Kim Bum's mom.
Yeah. That was a rough one.
Yeah, so this one's great because, it's the woman who still wants to get married, but it applies to all the different women. There's the friends, there's the main character, and there's even the mom. So, it's just really, like, about age, which we've noticed a lot. And that's something we should talk about for a second, is how much age plays a part in Korean dramas. It's something that's interesting for us because in American dramas, we do have, like, shows like Cougar Town and stuff like that, which I've never seen, but there's definitely things that like have to do with like women being older.
She's not considered a cougar here.
But she's not that much older, so it's really like for us. It wasn't
here
like
they
weird.
Wouldn't talk about that at all.
And you wouldn't notice it. I mean, she looks so young that it's not something you would look at and be like, oh, she's clearly older than him. I mean, they look like they're about the same age. If anything, he looks younger than he is, I would say. So he's very young looking.
I think he's younger than his character.
His character is. I think he's about our age, so I'm not sure.
No, he's younger than us.
Oh yeah, okay. So he's a baby, but he's definitely very cute, so we like him.
Mistaken identities, misunderstandings. Mistaken identities isn't really an issue here, but misunderstanding, I think, is right away with what we were talking about with age issues and just, definitely not necessarily having like the confidence to know what you want when you want it, and kind of going with society as an issue. So that's sort of the main misunderstanding.
And I would say this drama has one of the cutest scenes I've ever seen in any drama, when he dyes his hair gray because he's like, well, who cares about age? I'll have gray hair too. I thought that was adorable.
And then I feel like that was going to start a trend of gray hair for young guys, because, he definitely looked good with gray hair.
He looks good with everywhere, but, gray hair, it was sexy on him. I was like, silver fox. Okay.
Bad guy turned good. Not really that issue here. That's not the thing. He's not really ever supposed to be bad. If anything, he's just supposed to be, a little too charming. And then he becomes, I don't know, just more charming.
I think you're supposed to think he's, naive, that he thinks that no matter what, they can work, even if the age difference is there. But I think they can work, so I didn't really get that. But if anything, I think he's a bit, naive, as opposed to being bad. Okay, so piggyback ride.
Yeah, there's definitely a drunken one. Or, she's acting drunk, maybe. You don't really know.
Yeah.
Because she's doing it in order to, prove a point to her, the other guy in the story. So, yeah, I mean, that was kind of a sweet one.
Yeah, there's lots of cute moments in this one, definitely.
Kisses.
There's a kiss between the main actors, and there's kisses obviously between the other girls and their boys and all that.
And then
stuff.
between the mom and her ex-boyfriend. That one has the most salacious relationship in the story, and kind of upsetting to me that the most salacious relationship wasn't the main.
Yeah, even though the mom's really pretty, she's still wait, we wanted it to be Kim Bum, but that's okay. Fashion.
Okay, well, his clothing is amazing in this.
I would actually wear a lot of his jackets.
He wears all these great cardigans and leather jackets, and he's really tonal. He'll wear all black or all gray.
All gray. Yeah, there's the scene when they're outside eating the sweet potatoes, and he has this giant scarf. And love that. We're really into the winter gear.
Her clothes is cool too. I mean, because the thing is, she kind of goes sometimes dresses younger. To dress like a college student, and sometimes she dresses she's supposed to be older, but I think she just looks cool.
Yeah.
So
it's very cute, very modern. It's really good fashion. Okay, music.
Well, he sings, and so he writes a song about she cut my cord, or how is it exactly
Yeah, I mean, it has something to do with the fact that she cut the cord for his aunt.
How they meet.
It's how they meet.
Which is really sweet, and actually, really catchy. And he's supposed to be a musician, and obviously that plays a big part in the story, but not as much we saw Mary Stayed Out All Night. There's a lot more music in Mary Stayed Out All Night as compared to this, where even though he's supposed to be a musician, you hear a couple songs, but it's not really the main focus.
Actually, the song has a lot more than the musical.
Yeah, again, I'll play the song.
Another
a lot more.
Okay, so ratings.
Okay, so I rate this one, I would say a 9. This is really high up there for me. I just think that I can't imagine not enjoying this. The acting's great, the story's great. For me, it's applicable to just wanting to watch something that's a little more adult or just a little more fun. So yeah, I definitely love this story, and I would recommend anyone to watch it.
Okay, so I'll give it an 8.5. It's just a little bit less than her, but I think that definitely the characters are great. I think Kim Bum's a great actor. The Jin Hee, who plays the main girl, female lead, really compelling. I think even though the age difference thing isn't something that necessarily applies to our everyday life, something that we're always concerned about, it's really fascinating how it plays out in her life and this character. You really see the development, so I really enjoyed that. So 8.5 for me.
Yep, there you go. All
Thanks,
right,
guys.
bye.